What's up, everybody? Ben Reza here for Stochastic, talking a little PGA specifically, the Valspar Championship. Yes, the Players' Championship is in the books. Yes, Scotty Scheffler is unstoppable. No, we don't have to deal with him this week. We got a whole new cast of characters, a different type of field, and to see what our lineups are going to look like, one of the most important things every week is who's the value? How low can we go? Who is showing up as those potential leverage spots? And to help us do that, I'm going to use one of my favorite tools on Stochastic, the lineup generator. If you haven't seen it, you're about to see it in action. I'm going to talk about how you can access it as well. But let's get into it. If you are new to this channel, I want to say welcome, all things DFS here. Hit the like button, subscribe to this very channel. But yeah, Valspar is here. You got that par 71, a lot of par threes. I have a full breakdown on the PGA strategy show on this channel. You can check that out. But for here, let's see what we get. So when I bring up the lineup generator, step one, you just get to choose your inputs. And so I'm going to DraftKings. What do we want? Do we want all types of lineups? Do we want chalky lineups, balanced lineups, contrarian? I'm going to go contrarian. I'm going to be building some large field tournament lineups here. And then we get the choice of, do we want to, quote unquote, lock one of our guys and get lineups with one of them? And I think the best way to build doesn't mean you need to use these lineups. I always like to see what it looks like with the top player, and that is Xander this week. So I'm going to click in Xander, and we're going to see what we get here. And we start saving some lineups. You can discard ones you don't like. And then we'll look at them. And to me, even if you don't want the Xander lineups, it gives you an inkling of what the field might look like, what your tournaments might look like, and things of that nature. So here we go. Step one, lineups are generated around Xander. And now let's start hunting some value, because that's going to be the key. We're going to see who comes up on some of these lineups. We're going to start to talk about them. Some of the guys that caught my eye as well, hopefully, are on the list. And considering I use our tools, it's no surprise. One of those guys is one of the first names up, and that is Taylor Moore. Let's talk about Taylor Moore. This is a guy that, again, in a field like the Players, lost. Not someone that really paying attention to. He came in 31st, not bad. He's quietly, and I do say quietly, made every single cut, 7 straight cuts. 31st at Genesis, 48th at API, 31st at the Players. What is he doing well? I don't really know. Strokes gained is a little all over the place with a guy like Taylor Moore, but what he is doing is really having no glaring weakness. And I'm going to just isolate, and this is what I like about lineup generator. Let's see what those lineups look like with him. So he is, I say value, I'm putting it a little lightly, but he's, your third, your fourth man in these Xander lineups. So nothing too crazy. And he grades out really well this week. And you look, he's been playing, obviously got his reps in Florida the last couple weeks at API and Players. He was positive off the tee last week, positive tee to green, gained almost 5 strokes tee to green. This is a guy that in a field like this, talent-wise, he can match up. Now, one other small caveat, of course, Taylor Moore, I don't want to bury the lead. He won at Valspar last year. This is the site of his win. So it's no surprise he's getting a little bump there, but no problem going right back to him here. I'm not saying he's going to go back-to-back like Scheffler did, but I am saying that this is the type of guy absolutely wants to be, in the portfolio, and he's an easy attachment to Xander. So the first value, again, he's more of a mid-range value, I'll admit it, but I want to give a shout out to Taylor Moore, and he's someone that is in the pool for me this week. Now, we've got 2 more values to identify here, but I also want to just mention, again, what I'm doing here with lineup generator. If you want to see this, if you want the ability to use this, I think it's one of our best ways to, if you're not a stochastic user, if you don't have our tools, great intro step. It's really easy. It's incredibly powerful, and it's customizable, and it's just so simple to play around with and see what you get. You can get it for all the sports. You can get it just for PGA. And again, you're talking about $8.95 a week. So if you're playing any type of volume, this is the type of tool that can really help make a difference, and it's a great way to get started. The link is below. Come on in and see what you think. Try this for yourself. If your process you think could use a little work, the data, the tools, this is the type of stuff that can really make the difference for you. So I want to make sure you're aware how to access this type of stuff very quickly and very easily. Now, let's get to the second value. And we're going to scroll a little bit and see who comes up. And then we'll find some real value as we go down. But to me, the hole-in-one man himself, Ryan Fox, 7.2K. And again, some of this, I don't think you need to get crazy value. You may be saying, well, are these even like value? Like, where's the 5K guy? I don't feel the need to build like that this week because of the field in terms of the win equity up top. When you have Scheffler and Rory and all the elites, it's really, really powerful to be able to punt. But here, I'm not saying that JT and Sam Burns and Xander aren't good players, but it's just not the same. So I'm really looking for that value more in the upper sixes, the lower sevens. And a guy like Ryan Fox has been an interesting evaluation. So last week, made a hole in one, but also got cut. And it's not the short game. He's gained strokes putting in 3 of 4. It's actually off the tee. And that is super surprising. Ryan Fox is a reliable driver of the golf ball. He's lost in 5 of 6. So there are some issues off the tee. He hasn't been playing good golf, but in a field like this, a class drop, for lack of a better term, I think this is a pretty good setup. I don't think this field is nearly as strong. Again, the talent level does drop 7.2K. I don't expect them to be really popular. You've got Sam Ryder in that same range, who also makes sense. Berger, Shank, who was really good here last year. But Ryan Fox, if he can sort out what is plaguing him off the tee, his approach numbers are solid. His putting has made strides. And he's someone that is very, very live to outscore his placement points. Ironically, I actually like him on this type of layup where driving distance isn't a huge, asset. He can club down. He can keep it in the fairway, hopefully out of the drink, and we can look for Ryan Fox for a bounce back week. I think these are contrarian lineups, as you see on the screen. Ryan Fox, another value worth noting. I got one more for you. And again, if you want a full breakdown of the cheapies, the 5K range, again, the PGA strategy show is available on this channel. It's just me going through using our sims and seeing what we get. But I also want to mention, it is March Madness. Come on. I had to mention March Madness. If you are making brackets, if you are betting on the tournament, or if you just like betting in general, I have to tell you guys about the offer over on OddsShopper. It's $1 for 1 week of OddsShopper Premium, but it does end when the games tip off. So if you are watching this on Wednesday, building some golf lineups, if you're looking for some bracket equity and a sweat for all week and you want to see those tools in action, come on over. $1 single. Of course, this is not going to be something that will be going on once this offer ends. So really cool stuff there. Again, use the code MADNESS at checkout. You just go to oddshopper.com and you'll see the banner and you will be in. Simple as that. Final value for this video as we scroll. And this is a guy that I had circled as well, and it's Chesson Hadley. He's only coming up in a couple lineups, but again, this is the lineup generator where you can refine these lineups, you can mix and match these lineups, you can click right in and swap somebody out. He's your last man in, and this is what I'm talking about. I'm using this lineup for sure. I love this look. I like Bez a lot. Xander up top, Ryder, Hadwin, Fox, who I just talked about, and Chesson Hadley. Sign me up for that bad boy. So let's talk about Chesson Hadley here. He's 6,700, type of player that, again, we've seen him perform in some of the lesser events. He missed the cut at the Players. Positives. He's putting. There's no doubt about it. Bermuda's been good to him. He's gained strokes putting in 4 of 5. He's gained off the tee in 3 straight. His irons have been lacking. He's lost in 3 of 4, not severely, but for a guy that is really built on quality iron play, it's not going to get it done. We need him to kind of bounce back there. I'm buying that he can. I like the setup for him. Now, Valspar hasn't been the best for him, but course history is always very noisy. He has missed the cut 3 straight years here, but he had made the cut in 4 straight years before that. Again, I don't really care about that as much as long as I think that his game translates to the course fit, and I do think that. I think that Hadley's a reasonable punt here. When we just look at his year on the whole, hasn't really knocked on the door. He was 25th at Farmers, 24th in Mexico, 35th at what was the Honda, called the Classic now. And nothing has been strung together. When he's gaining off the tee, he really hasn't putted. When he's putted, not really dialed in with the irons. But all in all, Hadley is a guy, I don't expect ownership to be there. Can get really hot with those irons when it clicks. We saw him during swing season rattle off a 7th at Shriners, a 7th at Mayakoba. These are the type of courses. This is a little difficult, no doubt about it. And he's more of a, I think he tears up easy courses a little better than handling something like Valspar and what this course is going to give you. But at the same time, when you've got 5 par 3s, you've got attackable par 5s. Innisbrook will give that to you. Copperhead will give that to you here. And I think that Hadley makes for a reasonable last man in. You definitely have options. Mackenzie Hughes came up as well. Crowded range. But Chesson Hadley, with just a little exposure, could be the type of guy that lands in some of my lineups, and I'm pretty comfortable with it. Improve those irons, he makes the weekend, and he returns some value. There you have it, friends. Again, if you have any questions at all, at JazzRazDFS. And one last shout out to Lineup Generator. Powers this video, powers a lot of the lineups that I build every week. It's here, it's available. It's just part of the stochastic package for golf and all the other sports as well. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I know it's March Madness, but let's have a good week on the PGA streets. If you hit something, tweet us. We love to see it. But I'm going to bounce on out of here and actually make some lineups for Valspar using these very tools. But for me, for Chesson Hadley, for the rest of the values here, Ryan Fox and Taylor Moore, good luck. Enjoy the week. And I'll talk to you guys soon.